How does it feel to kind of just get out there, get some kick returns, and get a little more involved here recently?
It feels good, man. I really take pride in the return position. I really believe deep down in my heart that I'm a returner. It's really good to finally get some reps back there. It sucks to see one of my brothers go down, but it's throughout the game of football. It's always the next man up mentality. And I'm really excited to get to showcase what I can do as a returner.
I think there's a concern maybe of a guy that's such as just playing every down, that overworked, taking on that added responsibility. Is it a case where you maybe get more involved in the game and you like that when you're handling both receiver and returning?
Yeah, it's a matter of how you prepare throughout the week. How you taking care of yourself. With the cold tubs, contrasting cold tub, hot tub. Foam rolling and stretching, and what you putting in your body, you're eating correctly. Making sure you're staying hydrated because it is a load, and it can be taxing. But at the end of the day, we have a job to do, and regardless, if I'm gassed, if I'm getting a lot of reps, if I'm not getting a lot of reps, my sole goal is to go out and execute to the best of my ability.
I think you answered the question the way I should have asked it. Is it too much for you, taking the dual role?
No, I play receiver and return throughout the majority of my career since even high school. I played quarterback, slot, returner, and quarterback, slot, returner. So I had a lot on my plate even then. As the years progressed and I've got to college and even professional, that role hasn't really changed. Like I said, it's just a matter. Obviously, the only thing that's changed is really my body. Like I said, it's a matter of taking care of your body and making sure you're doing the things. Making sure you're resting, getting off your feet. When you had that opportunity to make sure when it's time to go execute, you're able to do that.
Did you ever play slot and quarterback in the same game? Not at the same time, because that would be pretty tricky, but...
I mean, yeah, in high school, yeah, and a little bit of wildcat in college, but, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like about returning so much? You're good at it and it's fun, but so many receivers talk about how it could be scary if you're not ready for it and whatever. But what do you like so much about it?
Well, to your point, a lot of people don't really like it. A lot of people don't really, take the time out to, really study the position, and have the confidence, because it's a scary position, sitting back there, guys running at you. You got to catch a flying ball, track the ball, and it is a lot of pressure. But at the same time, as a returner, I've had a lot of guys in my past, Richie James, Jadon Mickens, guys that I've watched, in this Devontae Devin, as professionals, really take that role on that returner position, have pride in the position, and really have confidence back there. That's what it takes to be a returner, and I believe that through those guys and just through my experience of being back there, I've developed those traits, and it's also in turn has developed a passion for it.
Playing a team like Hamilton, back-to-back games here, another divisional team, it's a big game, obviously, but how do you guys feel going into this? And like you said, being able to be the return man, any play can change a game. How much does that mean to you as well?
It means a lot, just having, a little more opportunity to showcase what I can do and, bring a little more to the table, which I feel, it's needed early, in this season where we're not off to a very fast start. But we have a great opportunity ahead of us against a great opponent, back-to-back weeks, to be back where we want to be. And it's going to take all of us, not just, me and my return ability, but those guys out there, blocking and each phase of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams to play complementary football in order for us to, turn this thing around.
At what point in that 97-yard return did you think that you could take it all the way?
After the first cut.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You saw some stuff opening, or?
I mean, yeah, I kind of just saw him overplaying. I could see him through the traffic, and I saw the guy overplaying it. And I knew once I got behind, I can't even remember exactly who it was, but once I got behind him and he would lose sight on me, cut it up, just get vertical as fast as I can, try to get through there and break some arm tackles, and that's what happened.
I can't remember how long your longest one was last year. That's my fault for not doing my homework better. Or not, I don't remember.
99.
Oh, so I remember I think he made some sort of comment wow, the field's pretty long up here.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's got any shorter. Well.
Nah, man, it felt just as long. Maybe a little longer, just doing a little more weaving and whatnot. But definitely, it's a pretty long field.
Are you capable of as a return guy in this league? Do you think that you can, make a habit of, I'm not saying all the way, but big stuff as a returner?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like I mentioned before, I definitely have a lot of confidence in my ability. Not only just my ability, but the other 11 guys that are out there. We always talk about doing our 112, our single assignment, our entrusted assignment to us on every designated play, and focusing on that one assignment out of each 12. And I definitely believe that through time, patience. That those big plays will come. We can't go searching for them and looking for them. We just got to let them come to us.
It looks like you're starting another different position this week. I guess we'll see later in the week. But how does it feel to kind of just be a guy that's relied upon to play so many different positions here?
Yeah, I'm glad the coaches can trust me with that. That's definitely something I pride myself on, versatility. So, whichever way, we got to help the team win. That's the way I can do it. So this week is just a different position, but excited to get out there and make some plays.
Is it tough? You started in the CFL last year, and like I said, you've played so many, learning the game up here and trying a different thing, but also trying to learn all these different positions. How much of a challenge is that for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but that's something that I embrace. That excites me. Don't get too bored around here, right? Always something to do and something to learn. So for me, I embrace it. I love it. Getting to play different positions on not only on defense but special teams too. That's the great thing. Getting to learn those different spots. So for me, I think it makes me a more well-rounded player, better in the long run. So I look at it as an opportunity to learn and continue to improve.
Do you like the safety position in general so far? Just what you've seen in general from whether watching guys also, but getting a few reps out of it too?
Oh yeah, I like it. Just getting to be back there. A little different for me. Like last year, I played a lot of Sam, so I was down in the box. So this is a different look, but like I said, add more tools to my tool belt, and get to play a little more, roam and play the ball a little more. So hopefully, create some turnovers.
What is the biggest challenge of being a safety in this league?
I would say getting everybody lined up and knowing the checks. You got to know the entire defense in and out, right? It's not just what's my position. You got to know how everything's fitting together, knowing everybody's assignments, where the blitz coming from, who's got to replace, where's your help at, so and knowing the down and distance, all that type of stuff. So that's something that I this week have definitely honed in on. Like, okay, look, I got to know all the extra stuff, not just okay, what am I doing in this position, right? So definitely, like I said, get to learn. Spend a lot of time here in the building.
Are you confident enough in your speed to keep up with those guys that are flying out of the downfield?
Oh yeah, I definitely am.
Mm-hmm.
I've did a lot of off-season work too to get that speed up. So I think it's showed, so far this year just on special teams and then some of the stuff that I've been able to do. But now get an opportunity to show it out there on defense. So I'm excited.
What kind of work did you do for your speed?
Oh, a lot of stuff. I won't delve too deep into it, but for me mostly it was getting my hips a lot more loose and fluid. Just being able to engage my whole body and not being limited because tight hips. Now I'm not running the same. So that was the biggest thing for me. Not necessarily like strength or anything like that, but more just getting my body to a position where I'm in feeling really good every single day, and everything's loose and ready to go.
Thanks, Ben.
How nice is it to get your number one quarterback in the swing of things last week?
Oh, it's great. Anytime you can get some of the guys that haven't been playing, but we have to be able to establish some rhythm, and some continuity if we can, and hopefully this leads to the next week.
How tough is that to deal with as a coach when you have injuries? I know it's on the offensive line, it's quarterbacks, it's kind of part of the job. But
Yeah, that's what you said it. That's part of the job. So, the other guys are here for a reason, and they need to play. And, they're going to be able to, we expect them to produce the same way the other guys produce.
You guys as an offense don't have as many of the explosive plays, whatever they define explosive. I don't know if it's 30 yards or whatever. I just wondered why you think that is, and is it? I know you were without your starting quarterback for 3 of the games. So I just wondered if there's
I think the biggest thing that we have to be able to do to establish that is to have some rhythm in the whole game. You know, what does that mean? Be able to get the play call in, out, make sure that everyone gets it, and we don't have those penalties, anything of that nature to be able to establish that. And you get more opportunities. You know, the explosive plays will come, you know, when those things happen. You know, when you're not establishing that rhythm, it makes it a lot harder.
What was the thought process of the much talked about last minute of the first half last week and just maybe the selection of the plays? So what was your thought process on that?
Yeah, we're trying to get in field goal range to be able to kick it like we usually do, and to be able to have a surrender play, maybe catch it and go down, and then be able to try to kick it.
Would you do the running play over again, or were you confident in that call?
I'm confident in all the calls.
Right, okay,
You know
maybe
what I
that
mean?
was
So,
the-
I mean, I was good. We needed to get the first down, and we did. And then hopefully to get into field goal range. And unfortunately, you know, hindsight's 20/20 for all of us, but, you know, to me, we have to be able to get down and get a chance to do it. We didn't get far enough, and we didn't kick it, so we had to go on.
I'm surprised how 9 seconds ticked off the clock on that. Is that, I don't want to suggest a controversy or whatever, like what was going on, but is that sort of strange that with so much time ticked off on that for you, or maybe?
I'm not in charge of the clock, so
No, no,
I don't get a choice to judge it
Right,
if it's
right.
right or wrong. You know,
Right.
I have to be able to, you know, always put these guys in the best position possible, you know, and it's always evaluated from game in and game out, you know, and I've got to be able to do that for them, you know, so I think that's the most important thing.
I asked you about this last year, but going back into Hamilton, is there going to be a special return, or is that sort of past?
Yeah, you know, it's past. You know, great people there. You know, you know, most of our, golly, my kids, they grew up there, right? So great memories. But you know, it's the CFL, guys. I mean, I think everyone's coached everywhere. So
Yeah.
I mean, you have to ask that almost every week. So,
True.
But great friends, still there. You know, so you know, just excited to be able to get a chance to, you know, go back.
Is there something that you can say that stands out about the Hamilton defense, or?
Well, they're solidly coached. I know, you know, Mr. Muntz for a long time, so they're well coached. They fly around in the football. They've gotten, you know, been able to create some turnovers, right? So I thought they've done a good job with that. So I'm excited to get a chance to play with him again. You know what I mean? So we've had some great chances from when he was at Calgary. Right, and now he moves back home, so I'm sure he's pretty excited about that. So I'm excited for him and excited for the job that he's done with all the guys that he has.
I'm excited to get a guy like Zach Pelios back. How important is he to have, you know, just on the offensive line again?
Well, I think anytime, like I alluded earlier, you know, I mean, anytime you start to get some of the guys back, but again, once he gets in, it's been a while since he's played, so we've got to be able to establish that in and out of the huddle, make sure that he feels comfortable, and get his first live performance in a while. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, you know, injuries have obviously caused ratio problems, and you've had a guy like Dan step up and
Yep.
be real good. How nice is it to see, like you said, guys that are able to step in, and even Keelan White has done a great job.
Yeah.
You know, as a rookie, I think stepping in. So how nice is it to see these guys, come in and be able to contribute?
You know, it's a credit to themselves and all their teammates. You know, they're getting a chance to put themselves in a great position. They're both first-year players, so to speak, in this system. Not totally like for Daniel, he's been into the CFL, but Mr. White this is his first time, and that comes with a compilation of not only for their own intelligence, but also collectively for the group. So I'm excited for both of them. Anytime that they're doing well for the team, you know, I'm excited.